Okay, so let's see. UK6, he bought 7 infantry to transport and 2 artillery, so he's now up to 3 transports over here in the Atlantic. So we're going to have to be a little bit more stacky on our stuff over here. Um, the big thing, I'm going to play around. I'm just going to try and keep this alive as long as I can and threaten his units as long as I can. Make him have to actually move these down into Africa. So I'm actually going to pull these guys and just put them on Madagascar and be sitting here with the carrier battleship. I could throw him over here and make him use a transport this direction. And that very well could be the better idea, and then just send my battleship carrier back the other way. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm just going to put him up here for a turn where I can threaten India again, and I'm going to have 4 transports back in 61 threatening India again because I really want to keep his units pinned in India as much as possible. I think he's over obliging me right now, which I'm appreciative of because we're really going to go for the Kaza stack. So, looking at this board, right, he just took UK's turn and he left fighters in West Russia. That means Russia is going to have to stay in West Russia on Russia 7, or he's going to let my Germans wipe out a whole bunch of UK fighters. So, in addition to going ahead and taking this stack this turn with my 6 infantry and dropping a fighter or two in here, he's also only going to be able to build. He's got 17 IPC, so he'll be able to build 3 infantry, 2 artillery, and so I'm going to be able to move the next set of 6 in here, plus my other fighters. So I'm going to be able to stack this in J7 as well. And then on Russia 8, he has to UK7 has to pull these out. Russia 8 is the first time he's going to be able to move his guys out of West Russia if he chooses to do so, so that Russia 9 he can attack Kaza. So that's what's going through my mind is Russia 9 is when he can attack Kaza. So that means I'm on J6 now. I have through J8 to get Kaza as stacked as possible. Because what I did, he's going to get 18 IPC. He's got 17 now. That's going to give him 35. So he's going to have round 7 and round 8 to build those 35 IPC, which is probably 2 artillery um, and 9 infantry. And I added that together to all what he has here. And then I subtracted 2 Russian infantry because I figure he'll at least attack 1v1 on each of these. He's probably going to use more than that, to be frankly honest, but I'm trying to be on the aggressive side. So that when he pulls everybody back, what is he going to have targeting Kaza? And so then, what can I get into Kaza through J8? So any ground infantry artillery I build J6 right now here can go 7, 8. They'll be there. These guys, they're going to go 6, 7, 8. They'll be there. The guys on the island here with this, they're going to go 6, 7, 8. They're going to be there. So I can count everyone in here, 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 plus anybody I build here automatically next turn into the Kaza stack. Okay. Anybody built in these two in J7 will not be able to make it. Tanks built here in J7. So I'm planning 2 tanks for here in J7. They'll be able to make it. I've got 4, 5, 6 fighters that are on the board that could be in there. So now I can add up all the units that are on the board in this region right now, plus 2 that I'm going to build here, plus 2 tanks that I'm going to build here, my 6 fighters, and I can get an idea of what that's going to look like. And when I look at what Russia looks like, this is what they look like attacking me. This is what I look like having in defense with those 2 tanks I build plus everything I have in there and the 2 ground infantry that I built this turn. So that means Kaza will still be stacked, and then at that point, Kaza will remain stacked. The only potential threat to that is India. So if on UK7 he decides to move this stack back and give up India, then between the India and Russians, I could be in trouble. So that's the only potential side threat to that, and we're just going to have to see how that comes out. I'm still debating on my purchase for J6 right now. Like I said, I am going to get 2 ground here. This transport's bringing 1 infantry, picking 1 up. These 3 are picking up 6 of these guys. So there's going to be 1 infantry left here, so I only need 7 infantry built here, or 7 ground built here for my transports for J7, plus 3, 2. So I have 12 ground I want to build, and I got 1 extra build spot. With my IPC, my initial thought is I can get 11 infantry, 1 artillery, and I can get a bomber. Now, if I'm a little more worried about what's going on here, I could trade my bomber for 2 tanks in here on J6, which again, those could make Kaza as well on J8. I think I'm going to stick with my bomber though. I kind of miss my bomber, and since I lost both my bombers in Germany in frustrating ways, that means he's going to be having that free C zone. So if I can build a bomber and get him over here and put some a little bit more pressure, I just like it. Plus with the 6 fighters, when I bring my 6 fighters and a bomber over, that may discourage him from continuing to threaten the med. Also create some logistics over here. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and build this with the bomber and hope that India continues to stay, or excuse me, UK continues to stay in India. So that's what went through my mind setting up this turn. So like I said, I want to take him back. So I'm going to use this guy to hopefully take Pearl here. Now I could have taken him up to Alaska. He built these couple tanks to be able to blitz over there, and I could have played and built, a transport here to then trade his tanks. And again, that may have been the better way to go, but I want to focus on here. I need to get units building up here, so I really want to get 4 transports coming in here because I am light on my ground for where I would like to be with Japan on J6 right now through here. So we're going to focus this way. Let him come, let him pull that guy back. And then next turn, I can come back down to New Zealand and then mess with this, or come up and mess in this way, or zip them back this direction. I do have the stack, so I don't have to worry about taking a shot at the infantry and risk my plane, so I'm not going to bother. I am going to be able to bring these 2 fighters up in here. I need at least 1 fighter. I'm probably going to go ahead and put 2 fighters in Kaza just to be on the safe side. Question is, do I want to fly a couple of these guys up that way? I don't think so. I think we're just going to bring them all up into the stack here, but the ones that go here have to go 1, 2. They can't get back up into here. From here, we can still reach into there, but the ones here can reach into Berlin as well as Italy, so that it starts to create some victory city plays if he bails on India. So I think I'm just going to use the 2 fighters here, bring the other 2, bring these 2 on up here, so I have 4 fighters sitting in here that have the flexibility of reinforcing many places in Europe, as well as just hanging out in that area. Like I said, I could go here, grab 2, and then save this one for another turn, or I'm going to pull him out, and if he decides to blitz, I can turn around and hit him again and take out a tank. And although it probably saves a little more IPC to actually just take these 2 and guarantee that he doesn't take South Africa, I like the idea of having my transport sitting here in 33 threatening India, like I said, plus my 4 transports here to try and keep these guys in bay for my Kaza move. So Technically, purely economically, it probably makes sense to just sacrifice these guys here, but I want to keep them alive, so we're not going to do that. So really, I think that's all our attacks actually this turn. Not much for Japan, unfortunately. But the good news is we do have 45, an income of 45 right now with Japan. Maybe we grab another one here, another one here. Oh, that is the one thing I did not want to see. Is my battleships are failing me. Come on, infantry, be a hero. All right. Yay for the infantry. Who needs a battleship? Got the hit there. That was the key part. Good deal. So these guys, one, two, three, can hit me. These guys up here, one, two, three, four, cannot. So he's only got his two fighters that can hit me, so I feel comfortable with just a battleship carrier there. So he's got no bombers, right? These are all fighters, fighters, fighters. Okay, there is the one bomber, but my C Zone 61's at least safe to stretch out away from for a little bit. So I think we're going to bring these guys around that can go this way. So if I look at it this way, the other thing that I'm thinking about is these guys come down to 40 next turn, and then they come over to 21. These guys come back to 27, and then they go to 21, and then I've got two battleships, a carrier, a couple destroyers, and that's going to make him have to think over here a little bit more. So that's the other play with delaying over here and just stalling out these guys. That being said, I got this destroyer carrier that I don't really need them sitting here. They're not really going to be able to catch up with these guys, right? I could come out to 49, but then these guys are moving on, so we're not going to really be able to catch up to those guys. Putting him in 36 is kind of risky because he could go ahead and attack him to take out a carrier, and there's no real good reason. I don't really have anything good to do with him. I hate leaving boats sitting around doing nothing really efficient. But I don't really, if I could put him on 36 comfortably, and I could if I brought a fighter back, but then those fighters can't reach this way. If I put him in 36, then I would be a little more comfortable, because then I could bring him over to 34 with the other carrier, have four fighters and two carriers and a battleship coming in here. I mean, I guess I do kind of like that, to be honest. And the fighter from here can always go back. Plus, it lets him hit here 1, 2, 3, 4, rather than these guys are going to go 1, 2, and then can't get back to Kaza. So that gives me a fighter that can hit there. So there we go. Now I feel a little more efficient. So I've got options of going to C-Zone 34 with these two, or we got options of coming back towards C-Zone 21 with these two fleets, just depending on where the game goes. And keep pushing forward. Even here is nice because 1, 2, 3. We've got 6 fighters plus 6 infantry facing him, so if he does move, he's going to have to move heavy, which means India would be an option then. Plus, actually, we got these 2 infantry as well that could hit Persia. So, and a couple battleships, so we got pretty good strength on Persia here as well. So here you go. So you can see what I was talking about. We're really trying to funnel everything. We've got a J6 stack. We got a J7 stack. Because I don't think these guys could come back. And again, Russia has to stay in West Russia. And J7, we'll be able to bring more fighters. We got these guys, 6 infantry and AA that we can bring in here. So I think we'll have the J7. The question will be the JA stack if he brings India and West Russia back. Regardless, it's pretty good strength here. I might, just depending on how things go, I might even consider go ahead and building a factory here. When I get Kaza stacked this early, I like putting a factory here. I just not 100% sure that I got J8 on J7. We'll take a look at it, and if I got J8 for sure and ongoing, then I may go ahead and build a factory on J7's turn to put in Kaza and start building right in the front lines. So there we go. Hopefully that can this aggressive J move from last turn to this turn, and the fact that he has to stay in West Russia a bonus turn, will give me an opportunity here. We are at 8 cities, so that does make him have to hold India because we do have these guys all stacked up right now. So hopefully we got something here.